Hello YXZ land, this is Eric with Dirt Launch Powersports. Today, as you can see, we're going to go over our alternator kit. This fits every year YXZ from 2016 to the present. We've tested this kit with various flywheels and drive shafts. We're not aware of any fitment issues, but if you have a specific application question, please give us a call. Let's start off down here with our pulley and flange assembly. Our pulley is a two-piece design, which allows for a much smaller drive pulley and overall low profile than other kits. And the reason why it had to be a two-piece design is, as you can see here, in order to get the pulley as small as possible, we have a flange that mounts up first and our pulley mounts to it. Most other kits, the pulley is the outside diameter of this whole assembly, making for a much larger overall footprint, which we did not want. These pulleys are made here locally in Green Bay, and they are hard anodized. We see other kits on the market with bare aluminum pulleys, which frankly doesn't make any sense to us. That's a terrible idea. Belts can rub through bare aluminum, so there's really no reason not to hard coat them, unless you're just trying to save money, I guess. But back to the two-piece design. The reason why this is important is you've got, different size flywheels, different size drive shafts. The more compact this whole setup is, the better luck you're going to have with everything fitting together. A real world example is just a couple weeks ago at King of the Hammers, the factory Yamaha team, one of their drivers sent us this photo. After the opening practice, they were having rubbing issues with the alternator kit that was on their factory Yamaha YXZ. So they sent us a Mayday, and we overnighted them a alternator kit out in the middle of the desert. They installed our kit and they were good to go from there on out. So again, this is the reason why we designed this to be as tight and compact as possible. It wasn't easy, but it worked out really well. Moving on, get through that away. This is our alternator. As you can see, it's a very low profile, small, lightweight design compared to some of the larger ones you see out there. The output's rated for 50 amps, and when it's combined with the stock stator, which is fully operational alongside our alternator, you have a combined output of 80 amps, which is really plenty for all of your accessories and light bars, whatever else you plug into your YXZ. We worked with a local alternator and starter shop. That's all they do is alternators and starters, to pick just the right alternator for this application. We told them what we were building, what we were doing, how much power we needed, and this is what they specified for us. And we've been using the same one purchased from that local company for the past 3+ years since our alternator's been on the market. But as the internet goes, there's all kinds of comments out there about the alternator that we use. One of the more humorous ones is somebody claimed that we were using an alternator from a tractor. If that was meant to be disparaging, whoever said that really has no clue about farming equipment, because tractors spend 8+ hours a day, 5 to 7 days a week in dusty, dirty, muddy conditions, just like our YXZs. And the components on those machines are designed for such use. Other YXZ kits use a generic alternator designed for a passenger vehicle, which seems really backwards to us. Your typical road-going vehicle spends most of its life at low RPMs, lumbering down the highway with their engine components protected under the hood from the weather, whereas the one we're using is designed to be out into the elements. But besides all that, our alternator kits have been on the market for several years, and their track record of reliability really speaks for itself. We have dozens upon dozens of professional and amateur racers around the world using our kits with much success. So we'll move on from the alternator. A few more parts to go over. We have our mounting bracket that goes on the chassis. Again, low profile. That's how we designed it, to sit as low as possible, and actually the bottom side to sit as high as possible, so you don't lose any ground clearance. There are other alternator kits on the market where the bracket that mounts everything to actually sits below the YXZ frame, and that's just, well, very far from ideal is the nicest way I can put it. These are formed from a local steel forming company here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We then bring it in-house and weld these support flanges to it, and then they are powder coated, up the road from our shop here in Green Bay. Like most things, we try to keep it local, in-house as much as possible. Then we have our hardware kit, which is all the fasteners you need to install our kit. We have our Continental alternator belt, the installation harness assembly, And then the alternator bracket itself, again, low profile, very strong, very lightweight. I'll go over more details of how this goes together and how this works in the next video. So stay tuned. I'm going to attempt to do an install video next. I've never done one of those before. So hopefully that'll be online here in a few days. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please contact us online, call us, email us, carrier pigeon, whatever works for you. Okay, thanks guys. See you on the trail.